Hey everybody, what is going on? It is December the 2nd of 2025, and I want to go over claims, brokers, and factoring. So claims, brokers, and factoring. What are all these pieces and how do they work? So first and foremost, a factoring company. How does it work? We buy your Raycon. We're gonna buy your Raycon. We're gonna get a copy of your POD, and we're also gonna get your BOL. You need to give us all these things. So obviously, itemize it. Let's do, send us the Raycon, send us the BOL, send us the POD. We have them. Before you even run your load with the broker, we need to confirm whether or not that broker is approved with good credit, that this debt that we're buying from the carrier is any good. Otherwise, we're not going to buy it from the carrier if it's a broker that doesn't pay their bills on time. If they have bad credit, we're not going to buy this because it's trash. If it's a good broker that pays their bills on time, we'll buy this IOU, this Raycon, this invoice that the broker would pay you 45 days later, or you sell it to the factoring company, and I'm going to pay you the day you deliver the load, and then I'm the one holding this debt for them to pay me 45 days later, or 65 days later, or 120 days later. That's how the process works. But in terms of a claim, how do claims work with brokers, factoring companies, and with carriers? This is a piece that a lot of people get confused with. So think about it like this. We see a carrier and they're doing loads with TQL. And let's say they do a load with TQL, they get their Raycon, they get their BOL, and they get their POD. But the product got damaged. So there's a claim on that load, and it's with TQL. When there's a claim, and let's say, for example, this is one load right here, right? So let's say we have one load, two loads, three loads. You have all this paperwork for different loads that you're doing with TQL. Well, out of them, one of them that has a claim. And when you have a claim, it screws up the process. And I'm going to use a cup to get an analogy off of how this works. Say, for example, the money is the liquid, okay? The money is the liquid, the straw is the factoring company, and the receiver end is the carrier, okay? It's coming through. Broker is the liquid, money is coming through the pipeline, going to the carrier and going to the factoring company. With that said, though, if there's a claim, again, we got this load, we got this load, we got this other load. When there's a claim with all of this money, the liquid, going through the pipeline, it's like if you were drinking a shake and a cherry gets stuck in the straw. There's a clog. The clog is the claim. So that brokerage is freezing all of future payments until the clog is removed. Once the clog is removed, the money can flow through. But until that clog, that claim is resolved, the claim can take 1 day to get resolved, claim can take 6 months to get resolved. It depends. And with that, that broker holds the ability of not doing any future loads with that carrier until the claim is resolved. And until that claim is resolved, all these payments on all these loads, they're clogged behind that cherry. The cherry is the claim. So the money won't go through. And when that happens, everything kind of falls apart. Yes and no. In terms of a carrier getting a solution around that claim as quickly as possible, you basically have a limited window, and it's at the front end. When it happens, you need to communicate with that broker to provide as much documentation, enough pictures, enough paperwork, enough email transactions going through to communicate what happened with the damage, so the broker has enough information to then forward it to the shipper, so the shipper can have a clear viewpoint of what happened, whether the carrier was responsible or the carrier wasn't responsible, so that claim, that cherry, gets removed as quickly as possible, so the flow of money can start moving through the straw again and get to the factoring company and to the carrier. Otherwise, when that cherry's there, that claim's there, it blocks the carrier's ability to get future loads, and it locks up all payments. When all payments are locked up, the factoring company will be like, hey, you know, we can't process that specific carrier. I don't know, Falcon Freight, I'm just making up a name. Hey, we can't process any more of your loads with TQL until that's resolved. So everything's frozen. We can't process any more of those loads. You can do them with you want, and you can get paid via broker quick pay, but that cherry, that claim, it blocks the process, and that needs to be resolved. And as a carrier, again, you need to get that resolved in that first 3 days of the claim being made, because if you try to do it on day 4, 5, and 6 as opposed to day 1, 2, and 3, the broker has less of a priority to work on that on the back end than they are on the front end. If it's in front of their face, they're going to work really, really hard on it in that first 1 to 2, 3 days of the claim being revealed or being presented. And then they'll have that documentation, they'll have those pictures, they'll have those email exchanges with the carrier. They'll take those, they'll present it to their shipper. The shipper will have a clear understanding and then remove the claim, or it will be a claim that drags on for 6 months. So in terms of factoring, if we know there's a claim on a load, because again, when you send us your rate con, your POD, your Raycon, your BOL, when you send it to us, when we receive it, we call that broker and we're like, hey, real quick, just want to check and confirm this load real fast. We just got a load from Falcon Freight Carrier. It was for $1,000. Can you confirm that? Okay, cool. Were there any damages at the pickup or at the receiver? No. Okay, cool. Any like random fees like detention, or did the carrier take an advance? No. Okay, cool. Great. Appreciate your time. Click. The load has been verified. Now that it's verified, we're going to get you paid on it and send you your deposit the exact same day. But if the broker says, nah, man, there's damage to this, yeah, there's going to be a claim on it. Well, the factoring company's not going to buy a Raycon with a claim on it because we're buying debt. The debt is that this is going to be paid 45 days later. The claim could take 120 days. It could take 6 months. And if we know that on the front end, we're not going to buy this from the carrier, because why would we buy something that we know is bad and has a problem with it? If we confirm it with the broker that it's squeaky clean and there's no issues and no problems, yeah, we'll buy it because it's good debt, and we'll send the carrier the deposit immediately, and we take this, and then we know we're going to get paid 45 days later. So anyway, when it comes to the flow of money, the straw, and how that money goes from the broker through the straw to the factoring company and to the carrier, that claim makes a clog, and it can prevent your ability to do future loads with that broker until the clog is removed. And it also clogs up the pipeline for the money. Money is not going to be paid out to the factoring company until that claim is removed. That's the process. Hopefully that gives you a bigger picture of how that works, and I hope this was a value added perspective. Catch you in the next video.